I have a save at almost level 200, and along the way, I've learned a bunch of tips and tricks to share. Some will be simple that I haven't covered, and others will be more advanced. Starting with the first tip of being able to know the exact amount of loot available on the map. For this trick, all you need is the amount of loot required for each extraction, found in the top right corner when playing, and multiply it by a number depending on the level you are on. I'm going to round these numbers to be concise, but the exact number to multiply will be in the description of the video. So, take the amount you need for extraction, this number here, and if you're on level 1, multiply the number by 3.6. Level 2 to 3, multiply by 4.7. On levels 4 to 5, multiply the number by 7. On levels 6 to 7, multiply the number by 9. On level 8, multiply it by 8.7, and on level 9 and higher, multiply it by 8.2. Again, I rounded these numbers just for simplicity, but if you want the exact number to multiply, it will be in the description. For example, my level 1 has $8,400, so multiply this by 3.6 and we get that there is about a total of $30,240 worth of loot available on the map. Probably one of the coolest tips is rotating the clown enemy for a free kill. On any rooms that have this high liquid level in the pits, you can rotate the clown, instantly killing it, and it's really easy to do, really useful for getting free money. Are you sick of getting kidnapped by the hidden? Carry a sledgehammer on you. When you get taken, pull the sledgehammer out of your inventory and it should hit the hidden, killing it and making it drop you. Looking at the robe entity while under an object will actually alert it to your location even if it didn't know you were there, so be careful around the robe. Up next is spawn blocking. This is going to be very useful on the last extraction when your teammates are on their way back. Enemies will not spawn in the room you are in, or at least one room adjacent. This means that by standing only one room from the truck, you will push out the enemy spawns very far, hopefully allowing your teammates an easy run back. You can do this with multiple teammates as well, and I shall explain this in more detail with my expert analysis tool. Alright, so if I have my map here, and we zoom in here, you can see that I'll use blue for teammates and me. This is me, right there. So me, and say this is the last extraction. Enemies cannot spawn here, or in this room here, because those are one room away from me. Now, take those away. If I had another teammate, so I was here, and I had another teammate standing in this room, then enemies can't spawn here, here, or here. So the closest place an enemy can spawn is going to be in this room area right there. And this again works with another player. If I went ahead and said, oh, I've got a player in this room as well, then that marks off this room, and they would have to spawn either here or here. So by having more players kind of chained together, you can block off enemies from spawning in these, random paths and allow your teammates, hopefully, a free walk back to the truck. If you're not already doing this, you should before you complete the last extraction. If you have any teammates that are dead, put their head back in the truck. This way, when you complete the last extraction, they will respawn at the truck automatically with 21 health. I recommend putting the heads behind the recharge area though, because sometimes enemies like to spawn in the truck room if no one is there, and so your teammates will just instantly die as they respawn. Also, don't put your teammates' dead heads in the corner or under the bench, as their head can teleport away into the extraction area instead of staying in the truck. This is a good way to get tons of money. Mentioned in the previous tips video, when doing damage to the animal crate, it will respawn enemies that are dead and cause all the enemies on the map to go investigate the noise of the animal box. You can pair this with the indestructible drone to have a battlefield and get lots of orbs. Put the drone on the box and turn the box sideways, and then soon all the enemies in the level will flood the room. Honestly, not a bad way to troll your team either. I want to get more into the specifics on the shop manipulation trick, as it might have been confusing for some. In total, there are 17 upgrades, which consist of 4 stamina, 3 range, 3 speed, 2 health, 2 strength, and 1 map, tumble, and jump upgrades. The shop only holds 10 upgrades at a time though, so this means normally you won't see all these upgrades at once. But if I buy 4 stamina and 2 health, then don't use them in the truck, I will always see the rest of the upgrades, such as 2 strength, every time in the shop. Hopefully this clears up a little bit of confusion from the last tips video. Using the clown valuable alone, you cannot kill the Trudge due to its 500 health. However, because the clown item is a medium object, you can actually touch the nose 2 times to prep the clown, then bash the Trudge about 5 times using the clown item, then hit the nose 1 last time to cause the clown to explode and deal 300 damage. If done correctly, the Trudge will die. Next is Flight School. By having at least 2 strength upgrades and a drone or small item, you can put this item under the cart and scroll towards you or look up, which will cause you to start flying. Very useful for reaching higher places when you don't have the extra jumps yet. Just make sure that you don't have any items in the cart weighing you down, or you will need more strength. You can achieve light speed by attaching the feather drone and the roll drone to yourself at the same time. Once both drones are applied to you, you will be able to pretty much fly around in any direction you are looking. This is super fun to mess around with and is more of a goofy tip than a serious one. If you want to launch higher and further with your tumble, there's a unique method you can do. If you sprint, slide, and then jump and tumble at the same time, you will go higher and further with your tumble. This takes a little practice to get down, but could be useful for you in unique scenarios. I don't really know how well known this is, so I figured it's worth mentioning. When the alien attacks someone on your team, it will lift them up in this purple bubble. Then the bubble will turn red before slamming them down. During this period of time, when it turns red, you can run in and grab your teammate to free them from the attack. You can get rid of the grainy and blurry look to the game if you match my video preferences here. This is just what I use to play with. Everyone has their own preferences, but specifically you want to turn motion blur off and pixelation set to small. Also, if you want a better feeling mouse movement, set the camera smoothing to 0%. It's really easy to kill the chef enemy if you have any sort of pit nearby. Just wait for it to do its attack, and you have 2 options. Crouch and have it fly over you, landing in the pit, or stand next to the pit when it flies at you and grab it mid-air and drag it into the pit. You need very little strength, if any, to do this during its attack where it's swinging its blades. This is a niche little trick to access this area on Swiftbroom Academy. Normally, without tumble or jump upgrades, it can be really annoying, but if you go to the floor above and drop down into this area as so, it allows for easy access to the place that could have loot. There are several methods to use when killing the duck: cauldrons, toilets, and pits. Instead of trying to look up and get the duck to jump into them, just jump yourself. The duck will jump anytime you jump, making it super easy to get the duck into these places, and even getting it to jump in lava pits. You might know that on regular pits, the duck likes to fly back up, allowing it to survive, but not with this trick. After getting the duck to jump down a pit, put the cart hanging over the edge where it jumped. This will block it from flying, and after some time, it will drop right back down into the pit and perish. Lastly, it's possible to get the duck stuck under these kinds of chairs if it wanders under them, allowing you to easily kill it. If your teammates are cruel enough to leave you behind, you can slow down the self-destruct timer by looking down or crouching and looking down. This makes your semi-bot talk slower, which gives you more time to get to the truck before you explode, since the self-destruct timer is tied to the speed of you talking. There's a really easy way to kill the Reaper enemy if you have a pit and an extra jump. Make sure that you have a bit of health in case you take damage, but it is possible to do it damageless. Bait the Reaper to attack you towards the pit, and then jump over the pit and back to the ledge. The Reaper will jump with you, trying to follow you, but ultimately ending up in the void and dying while you are safe and can grab its orb. If needed, you are able to use the front of the cart as a hiding spot to make you go super small. Enemies can barely detect you in this hiding spot. Another good option in a pinch is using doors. Get on the other side of a door and pull it close to you to hide behind it. Just try not to be moving or grabbing the door when an enemy is close by, or it can alert it. There's a better method to move heavy objects upstairs or into the cart. Instead of trying to push the object away from you to move it, get on the other side and drag and rotate it towards you. This is much more efficient for putting those large cubes in the cart or rotating them up the stairs. Just make sure to take your time, and this will prevent the object from taking too much damage. Another tip for dragging large items at 0 strength is grabbing them from the top and rotating them slightly towards you. As you can see, when the server is rotated slightly up like this, it becomes super easy to push where I want it to go. This tip is more of a fun fact because I doubt this could ever save you, but there is a 1 in 10,000 chance that an empty gun will fire when you try to shoot it. Some weird coding, but like imagine the day you're saved on a 1 out of 10,000 chance. There's a sort of glitch I don't use, but I figured it's worth mentioning. You can reload the shop if you don't like the items you got just by quitting out. When you reload the save, you will load in the shop with newly randomized items. And stop mentioning the free med pack. I know about it. I do not care. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't use it. We don't use glitches at our runs. Everyone knows about it. Stop, please. And a special shout out, as I learned some tips from these individuals, and I live stream every day, so come say hi and watch me play. I should be live at the time this video goes out. That's all for now. Appreciate y'all watching. Always have, always will.